Be happy. Be healthy. Be your best. Be your best.
So let's talk in this episode, which will be a two-part series. We're going to talk about eggs. Okay. And do I really want to talk about eggs? I got to do this exactly. So we're going to talk about the benefit of eggs. Okay. Eggs have been villainized in the past, and science is really showing that eggs are an amazing food, pretty much almost a perfect protein. Now, why is that? Well, one of the reasons is that your humble egg, one of the ingredients that's in it is a lutein. And lutein actually protects the eyes against some of the blue light. Now, in the age that we live in now with computers, with our cell phones, with tablets, okay, with everything that we're using that puts out blue light, eating a food each day that actually contains an ingredient that can protect the eyes against that blue light is something that's really, really valuable. Think about how important your eye is in day-to-day living. So much of what we do in life is influenced by what we see. Okay. The sight just brings us so much pleasure. There's so many things that we appreciate about beauty. There's so many things that we appreciate where our eyes can help us anticipate things like a dangerous situation, help us to pursue education. Our eyes are very, very valuable. So the fact that eggs have something that protects us against blue light, it also means that eggs can help protect the eyes against macular degeneration. Very, very important quality of eggs in helping secure your eye health. What's another component about eggs? Well, another component is that it's a very good fuel source. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, when you eat meat, okay, it's about a 10 to 20% fuel source because of what's in it as far as the fat content and the protein content and the way that the body breaks it down and uses it. Eggs are amazing. Eggs actually have a 65% fuel source. And that means that when you eat eggs, 65% of what's in them can go towards giving you energy and the ability to function throughout the day. Another thing that is in eggs is choline. Choline is very valuable because it helps to protect against a fatty liver or help with a fatty liver. And it also helps with methylation issues. A lot of people have problems with methylation. May have heard about the MTHFR factor. And a lot of people have one of those factors. A lot of other people have a more serious form of it. They have both factors. And this really causes some problems with them being able to methylate different things in the body. And it puts about a 300% strain on the liver. So eggs, having choline in them, actually help the liver, which is very, very valuable. And that choline also helps to do DNA repair. So this is another very valuable part of what is when you eat eggs. Now, one of the interesting things is that in years past, eggs were villainized because of the so-called cholesterol issue. And it's really fascinating to see more and more of the science that comes out about eggs and the cholesterol issue. Basically, at this point, the science is coming out that if you are concerned at all about cholesterol with eggs, you actually can just pitch that thought right out of your mind because there are components about the eggs that are very, very actually positive when it comes to cholesterol. One of those is that studies have shown that the lecithin that is in the egg yolk, it actually hinders the absorption of some of the cholesterol in the body to begin with. The lecithin in the egg yolk, it helps manage the cholesterol by assisting in the reduction of the low density lipoprotein, LDL, the bad cholesterol supposedly called, and promoting the high density lipoprotein, HDL, good cholesterol function. So when you're eating eggs, It's actually reducing any component that would be harmful to you, and it's actually elevating the good cholesterol that helps with production of hormones in your body, helps with repair of different components in the brain. It's just overall very, very beneficial for the body. So the egg, when it comes to cholesterol, is actually the good guy. Another thing about eggs that's really good is leucine. Leucine is in eggs, and what it does is it helps muscle growth, muscle repair. It has all the amino acids that are needed in order to help with the growth and function of muscles. So this is another benefit of eating eggs as far as what is available when you eat them in order to help at the gym. Now, one of the things that they had found in science is that the you used to see like people that were working out at the gym were doing a lot of raw eggs, putting tons of raw egg whites and whatever in order to get that protein benefit. But they've actually shown that that can reduce some components in the body that are needed for muscle repair, muscle growth. So having raw eggs, a large amount of raw eggs as a source of protein is not that beneficial when it comes to muscle growth and repair. Now, there's a difference in eating protein when it's meat and protein when it's eggs, another difference. One of the things is to think of the source of it. When you're eating animal protein, you're eating protein that was a muscle in the body. It functioned as a muscle. The components that went to it were used to make that muscle. Okay. When you eat eggs, the component that's in that egg originally was going to be used to make another whole chicken. Okay. So what that affects with eggs is what's called bioavailability. Eggs have one of the highest bioavailability rates of protein. So that makes it where this is really, really beneficial as far as how efficiently your body can use the eggs when you eat them and how many components in the body can be aided by the fact that you have been eating the eggs. Another thing that eggs have is it's got some D3 in it. It's got some K2 in it. It's got vitamin A in it. So it's a rich source of some of the very much needed things by your body, all in that humble egg. Another thing that's in eggs is sulfur. Sulfur in eggs can make it where you have stronger, very shiny hair. Just very, very beneficial for the body as well. So, like we said, eggs increase the good cholesterol that's available to the body. It's probably one of the things that was in the news over the years as being one of the quote unquote more detrimental things about eggs. Now, how many eggs a day should you eat? It's really interesting, the science that's coming out on that as well. The science that's coming out on eggs shows that if you eat eggs first thing in the morning, and it's a minimum of 3 eggs, it has a very profound positive effect on the body. Now, one of the components of eating those eggs in the morning is you can't cook the yolks to the point that they're hard. So a hard-boiled egg is not going to have the same benefit that a soft-boiled egg is going to have, a poached egg is going to have, an over-easy egg is going to have. Anything that has, or even if you make scrambled eggs, not cooking them until they're super dry, leaving them where they're moist, there is a benefit to the yolk before it is completely cooked that benefits the whole body and has even been shown to have some positive effects on not feeling hungry for a long time during the day. Now, the only caveat with that is if you're going to have some form of toast with eggs, you don't want it to be that you eat the carbohydrate part of the toast first and then have the eggs, or you don't want it to be that you are dipping the toast in the eggs as you're eating them. You need to have the eggs by themselves with the soft yolks, and that produces the benefit in the body. When you're done eating the eggs, after a couple minutes, you can get the rest of that yolk out of the dish if you want with a piece of toast, whatever. But the order of how you eat eggs with that is important. So these are just some of the benefits of eating eggs. There's many more that you can find if you do some research on it. But I was just interested in really having you appreciate that eggs are not the villain that they were purported to be over the years. And that as science keeps evolving, there's many things that we are finding that make it where the egg is actually a very beneficial part of your diet. Now, there may be some of you that have specific things by your primary caregiver where they're concerned about the eggs that you are eating, how many. Pay attention to your primary caregiver's recommendation. But at the same time, maybe do a little bit more research and see for yourself just how much benefit there is to having eggs as a daily part of your routine. Another thing about eggs is the fact that they're just relatively inexpensive. The prices have shot up tremendously in the last 6 months. But at the same time, even when they're that expensive, to have a couple of eggs in the morning really is something that is an affordable breakfast that has so many benefits to the body that it's actually worth considering. So look forward to seeing part 2 about eggs. We're going to go into the quality of eggs. There are many scientific points that show that the kind of egg that you pick has a really big difference on the benefit to the body. So look for part 2. And then please, we love to see those likes, subscribes, the sharing. That helps us keep this knowledge going to the people that need it. So like, subscribe, share with your family, share with your friends, and we'll look forward to you in the next episode.